Hello, and today I'll be showing you how to use the visible function, the except function, pseudocode, and timers. This is part 2 to a two-part series of C# simple functions tutorial video, and if you already don't have Visual C# Express Edition downloaded, I have a link on the side of the page to let you download it. So go to File, New, Project, Windows Application, and OK. So first I'll show you how to use the visible function. I've already gone over this in a previous tutorial, but I'm going to show you how to use it in a different way. So I'm going to widen it, and now place one label, another label, and two more labels. So you should have a total of 4. And you don't have to change their text, just leave them how they are and line them up. And now get 2 buttons. So I'm going to show you how to alternate positions. So this will make it so when you push button 1, it'll cross out labels 3 and 4 and place 1 and 2. And this will make it so when you push button 2, it'll cross out 1 and 2 and show 3 and 4. So I want you to make them all invisible. So now they will not show up if you run it. So double click on button 1 and make it so label 1 dot visible equals true, semicolon, label 2 dot visible equal true, label 3 dot visible equal false, label 4 dot visible equal false. So what this is saying is when you push the button, label 1 and 2 will become visible and label 3 and 4 will not. So I want you to copy and paste the entire source code, Control C, and now go back to the form design and double click on button 2 and paste it, and then switch the false to true and the true to false. Okay. So it is about done, and so let's run it by pressing F5 or the start button at the top. So as you can see, you can't see any labels, so I want to push button 1, label 1 and 2 appear, button 2, label 1 and 2 disappear, and label 3 and 4, and back and forth. So this shows you that you can cross out the other's function by making a button. So now I'll show you how to use pseudocode, which is a fancy word for pretty much just describing what the function is. So I double clicked on button 1 and I'm going to press enter, so I'm above the code, and I'm going to do // and now I'm going to say this will cross out button label 3 and 4 and make labels 1 and 2 appear. So what it is it's gonna it's pretty much a description of what this function is gonna do, and you'll know you're in pseudocode when your text is green, like a light green. And so it's very good. It makes your code clean. It makes the person that's reading it understand what this is doing. So if someone's new to code and they just find this source code, people usually have pseudocode to show the beginner what they're doing in their application and what does what. And it's very helpful if you're working on a project that's going to take multiple days, so you can come back and leave off where you were and know where you were. So that's about pseudocode. It's 2 // and then everything will turn green that you're typing. Okay, so that's pseudocode. So I'm going to show you the except function. So I want you to select button 1, but don't double click, and then look at its properties on the bottom right. And now go to click on the forms properties and go to accept button and make it 1, button 1. So now when you debug it, if you press enter, label 1 and 2 will appear. So it's pretty much like a hotkey, where if you have a pre-selected button set for that function, like this, the accept button is the enter key. And you don't always have to select that, and you know it's selected if there's a blue border around the button. So, and last but not least, timers. Timers are a very big thing, and they can do lots of stuff. I've been able to make animations with them by setting multiple timers to go off at certain times and making an object move. So I want you to place a timer and double click on the timer. So write label 1 dot visible equals true, and then semicolon. Now do label 2 dot visible equals true, and there we go. So go back to the form design and select timers when properties, and on enabled make it true, and for the interval make it 2000 milliseconds, which is 2 seconds. And so now I'm going to debug it, but when I debug it I'm not going to push any buttons, and you will see that the labels 1 and 2 appear after 3 seconds. So what I like doing is doing this. So I'm going to go to button 1, double click on button 1, erase all of the code that's there, and make label 1 dot visible equals false, semicolon. Label 2 dot visible equal false. And so I've made a game out this. It's a ghost appears every so seconds, and you have to make it disappear by pushing the button. So now I'm gonna run it, and so when I push button 1, when those labels appear, they will go away. So 1, 2, and they appear. Button 1 makes them go away. 1, 2, they come back, and so on. They just keep appearing. And you can make animations out of this, labels. You can make anything appear, text boxes, picture boxes. Also, a quick thing about picture boxes, you can put animations in them. They just won't show up when you're designing them, but when you debug, they'll show up. And that's about it for this video tutorial. This ends the 2-part segment, and I'll have more videos coming out later, and please check out my other videos. Thank you.